Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a little surgery on my 44 revolver. It's a Ruger Super Redhawk with a 9.5-inch barrel. It's got the custom Wiegand scope mount and a Nikon Monarch red dot scope with 3 different size dots, and you can different intensity on the illumination of the dot itself. We're going to disassemble this revolver. I'm ready to do a bore cleaning, and I like to get the action out of it before I start scrubbing the bore. I don't like having all that debris and liquids and stuff dropping down into my trigger mechanism and possibly could foul it up. So let's get started. We'll get it taken apart and I'll show you how far I go. There's no reason to have to go any further than this on these Ruger revolvers, since they're so simple in design. Of course, the first thing you want to do, you want to make sure the gun is unloaded. That goes without saying, but you'd be surprised how many people go to clean their gun and yeah. But anyway, first thing you want to do is remove the grip. It's held on by one screw. I like to take a penny because it fits the screw perfectly. Just unscrew the screw, and then the grip will come off, exposing the frame of the revolver. The next thing you want to do is actually cock the hammer to set tension on the hammer spring. In the hammer strut there is a little hole that you can put just a tool of a piece of metal, just anything, and it'll fit that hole. Let the hammer forward, and now you're able to remove the hammer strut and spring assembly, and just leave that intact just like that. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to push the hammer pin out. This pin is actually held in place by the grip. As you can tell, the grip rides here. This pin extends past that, and that grip actually holds this in. Take that out. The hammer will now come out. Next thing we're going to do is, on the back side of this revolver is a slot, and you're going to insert a tool, and the trigger guard has a little detent, and we're going to push it in while giving a little bit of downward pressure, and that will allow the trigger group to come out. Like I said, it's very simple. Slide the cylinder out, and the cylinder will now slide out of the frame. At this point, you can go ahead and clean your bore without any problems of debris getting down into your trigger group. You can take this thing apart, but I like to blast it out with some gun scrubber, or some automotive brake cleaner works really well to cut that powder residue out of there, and just lightly oil the moving parts with some gun oil. And that's about all you got to do to clean the trigger group. Same way with the cylinder. Just clean all your moving parts, and just one drop of light oil. That's all you got to do. Slide your cylinder in. Go ahead and let it click into place. I like to turn the revolver upside down. It just kind of helps get everything lined up here. Get your trigger group and be sure not to let anything fall apart, because there's a couple of pieces on here that just basically are hinged and they could possibly fall down or out. Hold the trigger group and let the parts dangle like that. You see how that's just dangling? Get it put in there. I'll tell you what these are. This is your transfer bar safety right here, and that's going to ride up in on the back side of the frame. This is your cylinder indexer. So, kind of give you an idea of where those need to go. And it may take you a couple tries to get it in there, but normally once you get it in there, it'll all just click in place. And whenever you get it set, just give it a quick little push. And everything will just fall right in place. Like that. At this point, you can try the cylinder indexer. It is working fine. The lockup mechanism is working fine. Go ahead and install your hammer. Pull the trigger. Drop your hammer in. Let go of the hammer. The trigger. And then drop your pin. Like that. And that's ready to fire. After you get the hammer spring in. Check for operation. Go ahead and install your hammer strut and spring. Get it set down in its lands. Pull the hammer back to release that tool, and it should fall right out. At this point, all you got to do is put the grip back on, and you're good to go. Now let's test it in double action. It's working fine. Put your grip back on. You're ready to lock and load. If you have any questions about Ruger firearms, I love the Redhawk, the Super Redhawk. GP100 is almost exactly like it. Very robust, very tank-like revolver. You just can't beat it. A lot stronger than a Smith & Wesson and some of the Taurus clones that are out there. But if you have any questions, let me know. Mower Medic 1. Have a great day.